Hey guys, it's me again. Today, I'm going to be telling you guys all about my 6th favorite manga series, continuing the trend that I've been doing, where I show you guys each of my top 10 manga series individually, so that way I get a chance to talk about them a bit more than I would in a normal top 10, and give you guys my thoughts and feelings without feeling rushed, because otherwise a top 10 with all the stuff in it together would be very long, and no one wants to spend that much time watching a video just to see some manga. But anyway, before I get into this, I do want to go ahead and let you guys know that I do still have my manga giveaway going on. So if you want to go ahead and enter that, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, go ahead and go to the video that will be linked in the description of this one, like that video, and then either comment on that video an interesting video idea or an interesting question, as well as a unique number that someone else has not picked. Now, I believe this video will be getting uploaded Tuesday, and the manga giveaway will be ending Wednesday. On Wednesday, I will pick the winner, so today, hopefully it's today, if this gets uploaded on the right day, will be the last day for anyone to enter, Tuesday, August 20th, so make sure to go ahead and enter that while you still can. It would be a shame to miss out, especially when it's this close. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into my number 6 on my top 10 favorite manga series, Tokyo Ghoul. Now, Tokyo Ghoul, I'll give you guys a brief synopsis of the series before I get into my personal thoughts and all that. Tokyo Ghoul takes place in a world a lot like ours, and it's in Japan, but there's one big difference between the Japan and the world in this series than there is with our world, and that's the fact that there are these people called ghouls. Now, ghouls are, for the most part, like normal people, except for two big things. For one, they each have unique powers, and, that's pretty cool. You'd think, oh, that's good, what's wrong with that? Well, the thing that's wrong with that is the second thing, which is that they eat normal people, so yeah, they can't eat normal food, they have to eat normal people or they will die, so, they kind of have to eat us, which is not too good. I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather not get eaten, especially not by another person. That would be pretty just horrible overall, but yeah, so the story follows this guy right here. He's the main character, his name is Ken Kaneki, and he's just your normal guy, and he's going about life like normal, as people do. And then one day he gets involved in an accident, and while he's recovering in the hospital, they're doing some surgery to help heal him and save him from dying because they don't want him to die. But during that process, he happens to become a ghoul. So he is now half ghoul, half human, and he has to adjust to his new life as a ghoul, which, includes his new powers, the fact that he has to eat people, stuff like that. And there's actually there's an organization in this series that hunts down and kills ghouls because they don't want ghouls eating people, which is understandable. So, a pretty legitimate organization right there. But they hunt down and kill ghouls, so ghouls don't really go around telling people, hey, guess what, I'm a ghoul, because then they get killed. So, Kaneki can't let anyone know that he's a ghoul. So, yeah, that's pretty rough. That's a pretty big secret to keep. And eventually he meets some more ghouls, makes some ghoul friends, and that's all cool. And one thing I really like that this series does is they make you grow attached to not only the ghouls, but also the organization that kills them, which I believe is called the CCG or something like that. But yeah, the organization that kills ghouls, you end up growing attached to people in that as well. So it's always interesting when there are conflicts between the organization and the ghouls, because usually someone's gonna die because their objectives are kind of to kill each other, so it's always really intense and upsetting when that happens, because either way, whoever loses is going to be sad. It's going to be sad regardless of the outcome, because someone has to die, and with us being attached to both sides, it's going to be someone we care about. So whenever that happens, it is a little rough, but that's why you just have to really be careful who you grow attached to in this series. And this actually was my favorite manga for the longest time, and it no longer is, obviously, hence the reason it's number 6, but this series is really good. That's not to say that it's not as good as it was back when I thought it was my favorite. The fact that it's not my favorite anymore isn't like me saying that it's a bad series. It is by no means bad. It's just that I've found other series that I like more than this, but don't get me wrong, I do still love this series. It's so good. And, I remember when I caught up, I got Volume 12 soon after it came out, and I was so excited to pre-order Volume 13, only to find out that in the back of the 12th book, there was a note saying that was the end of the series. Yeah, that kind of sucked. I was a little disappointed there, but I was relieved to see that Sui Ishida, the author and creator of this, announced that there was going to be a continuation series, which is Tokyo Ghoul Re. Now, I have the first volume of that. I haven't gotten any more just because I haven't gotten around to it. I will at some point. But yeah, this series does have a continuation series, so it doesn't end with the 12th volume of this original series. So that's good to see. That's awesome. And then also, this series does have an anime. I'm sure most of you knew that, but if you didn't, if you by chance didn't know that this has an anime, it does. So if you want to check that out, then definitely go ahead and check it out. Last I knew, it had like 2 seasons. It might have 3 now. I think it was getting a 3rd, so it's got like 2 or 3 seasons. I haven't watched the anime, so I don't know for sure. But from what I've heard, the anime is supposed to be pretty good. It does go past the original series here. It goes into where Ri is, so it goes past where these normal manga go. So if you've only read these manga, the original series, and you haven't read any of Ri, and you don't want spoilers in the anime of what'll happen in Ri, definitely go ahead and read Ri first, because the manga does go past that point. The anime does go past that point. From what I understand. I could be wrong, but that's what I've heard. And yeah, I remember, I've given you guys a few of my fonder memories of the series here. And I actually, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this was one of my first manga series ever. I remember, as I mentioned plenty of times, Hunter x Hunter was my first. And when I decided to take a break from that because it was so long, my mom had at one point she went on Amazon on her computer. She told me, okay, pick a couple of manga that you want, and I will order them for you. So I went ahead. I found Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1, and I found Attack on Titan Volume 1. I did not continue the manga of Attack on Titan. I have watched the anime, though, so don't worry. I love Attack on Titan. Nothing against the manga. I just didn't read a whole lot of it. But as for Tokyo Ghoul, I loved this series to pieces. This series was so cool, and it was way different than Hunter x Hunter, which had up until then been the only thing I had read, so it was cool to see that manga could be this dark and intense and all this. So yeah, this series really threw me for a loop, and I just have a lot of great memories of reading this series, and it was really intense back then. I was a lot younger back then, so I hadn't seen too much of this dark, gory stuff. I think it's actually considered a horror manga. I think I heard somewhere before, which I don't really see horror, but I suppose it could be if you get scared easily. But, it was definitely different than anything I had seen before, which wasn't saying much at the time. But to this day, it's still very unique as far as things I've seen and read, and I still love it very much. But anyway, yeah, that's about all for now. I don't have much more to say on the series. Maybe when I finish Ri eventually, maybe I'll have an updated video talking about Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul Ri together, if Ri changes my opinions or any of my thoughts on the series. But until then, that's all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I will see you guys next time.